Just kidding, guys. We're all going home. Yeah.
Good evening. I would like to call the December 21st, 2021 Planning Commission meeting to order. Please note that this meeting is being hosted through live stream on the city's website and by teleconference via Zoom. Due to the structure of this meeting, I would like to remind the Planning Commission to have their microphones turned on and positioned so the audience can hear. Director King, can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Commissioner Hill? Present. Commissioner Lemke is absent with notice. Commissioner Beamsterfer? Here. Vice Chair Van Arsdale?
Here.
Chair Wood?
Here. Thank you. Next, the invocation and flag salute. Vice Chair Van Arsdale.
Before we start, I would just like to have you make note that today is the last 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century. So, dear Lord, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of this community. Please bless the city and our families and friends in this most holy season. In thy name we pray. Amen. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, approval of the minutes. We do have one correction under item 6A, just to note that the public hearing was not closed at the last meeting. The public open to this meeting. Any other comments?
I'd like to make a recommendation to approve the minutes of the Planning Commission meeting of December 7, 2021,
With that correction.
with that correction of 6A. I believe.
I'll second it.
Motion carries 4-0. All right, next item on the agenda is public comment period for items that are not on the agenda. Are there any members of the public present that would like to comment on an item that is not on the agenda? Do we have anybody online or via e-comments?
We don't have anyone online and no e-comments were received.
Okay, great, thank you. So move to the next item, which is conditional use permit 21-011 for Men and Women on the Move for Christ. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, Chair Worth, members of the Planning Commission and the community. I'm Monique Alanis Flater, the project planner for the conditional use permit 21-011. The applicant is Bishop and Senior Pastor Charles Johnson. The property owner is Beth D. Living Trust. The location is 640 North San Jacinto Avenue, Suite I. The applicant is requesting conditional use permit approval for a church within an existing suite, totaling 1,088 square feet. The hours of operation are from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and on Sunday, and on Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. From 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The subject property is located within the Alessandro Commercial Office Center, which houses multiple office suites on the west side of San Jacinto Avenue. north of Fruitvale Avenue and south of Esplanade Avenue. The site is already improved with existing curb and gutter, sidewalk, parking, lighting, and landscaping within the center, as well as existing parking. The subject property is, the land use designation for the property is community commercial, and the zoning of the property is C2 general commercial. The overall layout of the site, as illustrated here, highlighted in yellow, is the location of the proposed church. A total of 5 members would support church operations. The overall configuration of the suite includes their offices, bathroom, front entry foyer, and sanctuary area. One ingress and egress point has been provided from the front of the site, and as conditioned by the fire department, they will require a seating configuration to be provided for proper egress of aisle widths prior to certificate of occupancy. In review of the overall center and parking for the site to ensure that it can accommodate the site, we did look at that. The minimum parking requirement when the site was developed is 75 parking spaces. It does meet that. However, for an assembly use for the church, they will be utilizing the space for their congregation of approximately 53 members. With that, that would require at least 20 parking spaces to be provided based on the assembly area of 800 square feet. However, with the 53 congregation members, we want to ensure that they have enough parking for the site. So the proposed hours of operation are within the off-peak hours for traditional office hours for the center, which would not interfere with the overall office complex. The Development Review Committee did review the project and provided recommended conditions of approval in Exhibit 1B of the staff report. On December 9th, the city provided public notice in advertising in the press enterprise and by mailing to property owners within and tenants within 500 feet of the subject property prior to holding of this hearing. To date, staff has not received any correspondence from the public for the project. The project is in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act and is exempt from the CEQA guidelines. Section 15301, Class 1, due to existing facilities. Therefore, staff respectfully requests the Planning Commission approve and adopt resolution approving a conditional use permit 21-001, subject to the findings and conditions of approval outlined in the staff report, as well as to direct staff to file a notice of exemption with the county clerk. This concludes my presentation. The applicant is also here this evening to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
My personal experience in the past was that back area of that parking lot, even when the we used to have a workout center there, we did boot camp, and it wasn't very full. So I don't think that even when the center was almost full, that area didn't get used up. So I don't think it would be a problem with parking.
So two questions. Prior to the C of O, the fire department is going to require a seating chart. Is the intent, or not seating chart, but a seating layout? I guess you wouldn't have a chart like you sit here. But is the intent to maintain a single ingress and egress and just make sure that it's laid out appropriately for a single ingress and egress, or is there a possibility that would result in a requirement for an additional like an emergency exit?
With their conditions, they're requiring just to make sure that the seating configurations provided to determine proper egress of the aisle widths between the seating the seating configuration. They are aware of, and the building department has also evaluated the egress. And that is just to ensure that they also meet the maximum, or that they don't exceed the maximum occupant load for the building, as well as ensuring that they have the appropriate interior exit signage and fire extinguishers.
So to make everything work with one ingress and egress. Gotcha. And then also on, I think it was condition 13 in regards to the use of the site. There was some write-up in the staff report about partnering with some other service organizations for providing temporary lodging or things of that nature. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yes, so so the applicant indicated that, you know, their all purpose with the organization is to support our local community in crisis intervention, as well as to support military veterans in need of assistance who are homeless. And this may require the church to work with other nonprofit organizations that provide wraparound services to help support the homeless or those in need. So we just included the clarification from, and this is a standard condition of approval for a religious organization or synagogue or the type of facility that clarifies certain restrictions, including prohibiting overnight housing or shelter on premises. The condition of approval also further clarifies that other rehabilitation type of meal services would be prohibited. However, there's also a condition that this is not intended to be a school or rehabilitative service or shelter. However, if the applicant wanted to host a child daycare during services, they could do that. So it just clarifies that they can during that time. And that is the essence of condition 13.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
Something about everything ADA as well, every day for the door, since there's no back door, but bathroom and everything is still ADA approved.
Everything will be ADA compliant. It will be reviewed through the building department. The applicant has been working with the building department on for their submittal, and there will be a final inspection to ensure that it's in accordance with the building codes.
Much. We'll go ahead and open up public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to comment on this? Is the applicant, would you like to come up and say anything, or you don't have to? I'm just, okay, please come on up. Oh, no worries. We made you wait for a while for the start of the meeting, so. And if you don't mind, you don't have to, but if you don't mind, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
My
evening.
name is Bishop Charles Johnson. I am the senior pastor of the church. I am the applicant, primary applicant. And I wanted to reiterate what Monique had said, is that we have a specific program directed towards rehabilitating and helping our veterans find hope, first of all, and then also to, if they're homeless, to give them resources for getting off the street. And we focus on that. We always have in the existence, the 7-year existence of the church. We were originally in Paris, and after COVID, we decided to move to Hemet. And so that's why we're here. But we see that there is a need for hope-driven, faith-based organizations here in Hemet. And so that's who we are. And that's our intention, is to further the advancement of Hemet rather than to watch it go through the task that it's going through. I won't be specific, but it's going through some changes. I've been here for about 2 years myself, and I've watched Hemet go through some trials and some tribulations. Those are 2 words that we use in the church all the time. And so we're here to help, not to hinder at all.
Thank you very, very much. Any questions for the?
I have none.
Well, homeless is an increasing problem, and helping veterans has a special place personally in my heart, but thank you for everything that you do. Is there any e-comments, or anybody online that would like to comment to this?
I don't have any comments online and I did not receive any e-comments.
Great, thank you. So we're going to close public hearing and comments, discussion, entertain a motion.
Well, I'll make a motion to adopt Planning Commission resolution approving CUP 21-011, subject to the conditions of approval, attachment number 1 and exhibit 1B, and 2, direct staff to file a notice of exemption with the county clerk for CEQA purposes.
Second.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much and welcome, Hemet. The next item on the agenda is for the Site Development Review 21-017 and Model Home Marketing Complex 21-006 for DR Horton at Heritage Place. Good evening.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the Planning Commission, and the public. My name is Mina Morgan, and I am the project planner for Site Development Review 21-017 and Model Home Complex 21-006 at Heritage Place by DR Horton. The applicant is DR Horton, and the owner is DR Horton. And the project is located at the northeast corner of Elk Street and Thornton Avenue. And this is for the design review of 68 single-family residential lots within tract number 36890. The Hemet Municipal Code, section 90-48.1A, provides the Planning Commission the authority to review and post condition of approval, which pertain to the development of the property and approve or deny the site development reviews. The applicant is also requesting approval of a model home complex 21-006 on lot 2 and a temporary parking on lot 3. The model home complex may be approved by the community development director or may be deferred to the Planning Commission. This project has a general plan land use designation of low density residential and a zoning designation of R15, which is single family residential with a minimum lot size of 5,000 square feet. Track number 36890 is proposing the construction of 68 homes. And this aerial map shows that the current project site is vacant, and is the properties to the east of it are residential, to the north are vacant. And in addition, the surrounding 3 vacant tracts were recently approved by the Planning Commission to allow for the development of single family residentials. And this is the site plan of the proposed tract number 36890. And this is the proposed plotting plan, which includes a diverse mix of 1- and 2-story homes. This is the front yard typical landscaping. The applicant is proposing 1 street tree per home, in addition to landscaping within the right of way. And this is the wall and fence details, showing vinyl privacy fencing, wall returns, tubular steel fencing, and split face block wall. For the model home complex, the applicant is proposing 1 model home in the model home complex consisting of the traditional architectural theme on lot 2 and temporary parking on lot 3. And there will be also other site improvements, including enhanced landscaping, irrigations, vinyl fencing, ADA parking, and accessible outdoor restroom with vinyl fencing. This is the site plan showing the location of the sales office on lot 2 and the parking lot on lot 3. There will also be temporary signage for the model home complex, which will include the main ID signage and flag posts. The applicant is proposing 3 different floor plans, 1 single story and 2 2-stories in Spanish traditional and Tuscan architectural theme, with the lot coverage ranging between 25 to 40% for 1-story residents and 23 to 27% for 2-story residents, and as illustrated in the product mix table. This is the proposed elevations for Plan 1, which calls out a 1,576 square feet single-story floor plan. And this is the proposed elevation for Plan 2, which calls out 1,705 square feet for a 2-story floor plan. And lastly, Plan Type 3, which shows a 1,975 square feet 2-story floor plan. This is the proposed color scheme for the new housing development. And the project complies with all the required setbacks, building heights, wall landscaping, and development standards of the R1 5 zone. The project is also in compliance with the single-family residential design guidelines and is consistent with the city's general plan land use designation of low-density residential. On August 3rd, 2019, the Planning Commission adopted mitigated negative declaration and mitigated monitoring reporting program for tentative track map 36890. And the MND determined that there will be no significant impact on the environment, and it will not result in an increase in density or intensity or changes that were previously analyzed under the approved MND. And there has been no legal challenges brought against the project or environmental determination. Therefore, the project is in compliance with section 15162 of the state CEQA guidelines. The city gave public notices, advertising in the press, enterprise, and by mailing the property owners and tenants within 500 feet regarding the public hearing that is being held today. And staff did not receive any public comments regarding this item. And with that, the Planning Division recommends that the Planning Commission take the following action: adopt Planning Commission resolution for site development review 21-017 and model home complex 21-006, subject to the condition of approval and as illustrated in the development plans. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
I have no questions.
No issues here with the grade or elevations between the existing lots. Everything is the same.
Yes.
Very good.
The existing lot, a brick wall, or is it a wood fence? The neighboring community.
We can, if you'd like to come up, we're actually in public hearing, so you're welcome to come up and we can hear from the applicant. And if you have anything to say or add, and thank you. If you don't mind, you don't have to, but if you don't mind, your name and address for the.
Sure. Good evening. Chairman Worth and members of the Planning Commission. My name is John Myrie with DR Horton. We're located in Corona at 2280 Wardlow Circle. So appreciate you hearing our project tonight. There's a lot of excitement out here in the heritage community with your approval. About a little over a month and a half ago, we got busy. We've got, there's a lot of construction going on out there. And this is the sister companion project, so it's not the one you're hearing tonight, but yeah, things are really exciting out there. Thought I'd add that. On the existing neighbors, so when we did our outreach to the community, this was part of it. So we've done our community outreach. We've met a couple of the neighbors adjacent to this track. So everybody's knows each other pretty well. And so we've communicated, and there appears to be no issues with our plotting adjacent to these homes. The grades itself, yeah, this one's fortunate where we're about even with the adjacent community. So yeah, not an issue with being higher or lower than the existing homes. There pretty much matches pretty closely. The existing fence out there is a mix from these homeowners. It's there's some fencing, some block, a little bit of everything out there. So what we do, and we've gotten to know our neighbors even more, we go out and we offer to replace their fence with our fence, so there's not a double fence. So we're doing a lot of community engagement with that as well right now. So we give them the option to come in and just use our single fence that we put in, so that there's only one common fence. And a lot of the homeowners like that. So we're doing a lot of fence replacement with the existing homeowners, with the other heritage community, but this one we're doing the same thing.
I have a dumb question, but
Yeah.
so you have 3 different models on this track, but you only have one model home.
Well, home sales are pretty strong right now, and there's, like I say, there's a lot of activity. This one is 68, so it's we decided to put some different plans on these particular 68 homes. We only need really one model there to show people what we're going to do. We do have the companion project on the other side of the street, so there's a lot of activity, and it's when things are going well, you don't always need to show all your plans all the time. Yeah.
Well, it's great to see that area getting finished out. It's been in the works for a long time. So
I think we're really happy to be building in the city of Hemet, working with HP and the staff, and you know, we've got a lot of things going on. You know, we're at McSweeney, we're here, we've got other stuff in the pipeline. So we feel like we're fully partnered with the city of Hemet on building new homes and building new communities.
other comments? Did we receive anything? E-comment or?
I don't show anyone online and I did not receive any e-comments.
Well, we'll go ahead and close public hearing. Question or discussion, good to go, entertain a motion. All right. Wanna do it, Roy?
I'd like to make a recommendation that the planning commission approve resolution for site development SDR 21-017 and model home marketing complex 8 MHC 21-006 as illustrated in the development plan shown in attachment 1 exhibit through 1G and attachment number 2 through 4 and subject to the conditions of approval exhibit 1A.
I'll second.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Okay, next agenda item, the city attorney reports.
The city attorney doesn't have.
The community development reports.
Let me have a couple items. So I don't know if you saw the council meeting last, but we have a new mayor. Malcolm Lilienthal is now the new mayor, who is present with us tonight, as well as Carly Meyer is now mayor pro tem. So there's a change. And we had two discussion items that went to city council, one of which is the parking exceptions for outdoor dining for restaurants. So that'll be brought back to this body for review before it goes up to City Council. And the other item is the second story design ordinance. So that'll be coming back to you before it goes to City Council. So those are the future items that were discussed at City Council to be brought back under your review.
The outdoor parking, is that the response we had for COVID in terms of opening?
Yes, so the parking exception is for the outdoor dining during COVID issues, so they can have a full capacity indoors. So they were utilizing some of the parking spaces for dining area. So we wanted to bring that as a somewhat permanent option. If the restaurant owners wanted to choose that, then there's some leeway in how to adjust for parking requirement. And one other item is that, do you guys remember Long John Silver's on Florida Avenue? You guys approved a drive-through restaurant there, but we didn't have a tenant at the time. So now we do have a tenant, and the architectural is changed slightly to more of a modern style. So what all the majority of the fast food restaurants are going to more of a blockish architecture. So that was approved through the Community Development Director review. It didn't require to come back to this body due to the fact that you already approved for a conditional use permit on a drive-through component as well as a restaurant component. So it didn't have to come to this body, but we wanted to make that. So if we could bring up the slide, we could kind of give you a elevation shot of what the final product looks like.
Shamlu. Any more in that location? Shamlu drive-through?
No.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So Monique is.
Okay, so this is the location is West Florida Avenue, in the center where the bowling alley is, next to Pollo Loco. This was approved by the Planning Commission in April as a conditional use permit. This was the overall layout that we had presented to the commission with the new drive-through configuration. At that time, they did not have a tenant. Since then, we received a tenant improvement for a new tenant called The Grill.
So if you look at the upper left corner is the existing architecture, and then the center bottom is the new proposed architecture.
That seems to actually match the bowling alley and the skating rink actually better than what the existing is.
Yes, they are going more towards the modern style.
On the center.
Correct.
That'll offset a little bit of the traffic going into the in and out drive-through.
I got it.
I have to tell you, I was in Palmdale a few weeks ago, and their In-N-Out burger is suffering the same thing.
Oh, it's
So
all over.
It's all over the place. So I don't know how we could have foretold that, but it seems like when COVID hit, they were always
Double
busy,
drive-through.
but when COVID hit, they tripled. That's right.
That's all I have.
Thank you so much. All right, back to you though, future agenda items.
Sure. So in the future, we'll be bringing back the housing element update for January. The APC cell tower, this was the item next to the bowling alley that came before you, but we had to pull the item because there was a couple issues that we need to resolve. The ARCO AM/PM on Florida and Saboba will be coming before you, as well as H&H Plastics, which is located on Menlo, the old feed store.
Cool.
Okay.
The old feed store on Menlo, east of State. Yes. And I just wanted to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is our last meeting for 2021. And you guys did an amazing job for the whole year. And we're looking back and we're averaging about 2 to 3 projects per meeting. So we did quite a bit of projects over the year.
Staff have done a great job, and thanks for educating us as we go through the process as well. If you wouldn't mind, the next planning commissioner reports.
Commissioner Hill,
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Commissioner Beamsterfer,
Happy holidays, nothing to report.
Vice Chair Van Arsdale, and Chair Worth.
Nothing to report, but same thing. Very, very Merry Christmas, and hope everyone has a much better 2022. All right.
Likewise.
So if there's nothing more, then we will be adjourned until January 4th.
Yes.
That's